We got to a point where we had a space that we were looking at, kind of warehousey, old. It hadn't been updated since at least the 50s. And we didn't have any money. So we decided to go to the community. We felt like that was a real test to see like if people would really get behind this idea. So we did an Indiegogo campaign. Turned out to be the most anxiety-filled 30 days of my life. We didn't really have a plan B. We were able to raise $22,000 from our community to make this possible. I think the Bartlett stemmed from a lot of personal things in our lives. Music, the music business, and being musicians.
Yeah, and I have background as a musician as well, and we met at the Red Room where he managed and promoted shows. So our relationship was kind of initially started at a venue, and we went to a lot of shows together. For me, the Empyrean was a huge influence in my life because I started playing music when it was open. I felt like after it closed, for at least young musicians, there wasn't a place like that. That was a huge part of it for us too, is creating an all-ages space where young musicians can kind of get to experience being on a stage and playing in front of people. And
it really left a gap in Spokane for local musicians, but also smaller independent touring bands. They kind of stopped coming to Spokane, and we really wanted to capture getting them back here and also trying to like take it up a level to bring in bands that have never come here. It's been about 2 months now since we started working in here. We ripped up the floor. We're restoring it to the original one. We've just now, in the last couple weeks, gotten in here and started doing a lot more finish work, that's the fun part, because you can really see it come together, come to life. I've been working on a 3D model of the place for like 8 months now. So it's cool to see that translate into a real thing and actually feel good about it. We're hoping for about 200 occupancy in the actual venue. We have everything in place to make that possible, I believe, with the amount of exits we have. We have a sprinkler system, which is a huge part of venues succeeding. It's not necessarily like the size of a venue, but it's what the venue is really what can bring in those bands that might be too big to play a place like this typically, but if you make all the different elements of it work right and be able to support some bigger bands, then you can actually make it possible.
My job is kind of to make sure that the shows run smoothly, and also just that the venue is ready, to go for when the bands get here, when people show up. A lot of us that are working here and in kind of key roles have been touring musicians. We've showed up to venues and kind of had experiences with that. It's nice to be able to kind of provide an experience for the bands that are coming through that is sort of like what we would want if we were doing the same thing. And so it's been cool to see that the feedback's been very positive. They do die!
This is my domain. This is it right here. We control all the lighting in the room, the stage lighting, and the sound from back here. My biggest point of view in a live show experience is subtracting the venue from the experience of the band. For me, I have a background in audio engineering, so that was a huge thing for me, that it had to sound as good as I could make it. I wanted to take away the distractions and create an environment that really allowed you to focus on the music. We're gonna use them as sound diffusion on the back wall. So we'll glue them up to panels, and they'll kind of be like this at different depths, that kind of thing, all the way across. 1,100 of these. So I told Papa that I think I did more cuts than it would take to build a house for these. Typhoon, even, a band that's playing 1,000 capacity rooms, told us this is one of the best venues they've ever played.
We wanted to have an area where people could kind of take a break from the show, catch up with a friend, order a drink without making a lot of noise in the venue where the performance is happening. And also have a space where people can come in whether they want to be at the show or not, so they don't have to pay a cover to get into the bar out front. At the Bartlett, obviously, a big way of promoting shows is through poster design, and so we've tried to engage the local design community by commissioning local designers and illustrators to do posters for events, and it's fun because I've been able to curate it and pick out an artist that I feel like their style kind of matches with the event or the band. It's a multi-purpose event space, basically, and we book special events, private parties. We've been hosting cultural events like the Salon series that the Spokane Arts Fund is doing once a month. We are now hosting the monthly poetry slam. We have on board to do a few benefit events as well. So it's basically the venue's there, and however we can fill it in whatever capacity that we feel like is exciting and unique, then we'll do that. So people are coming to listen, and people are coming because they want to hear a new musician and hear a new experience, and it is a really attentive crowd, which was really important to us, and something that the original Empyrean had that was so special is that people don't go in there unless they're gonna be quiet. It's really cool because as a performer, when people are listening, you take what you're doing really seriously, and you want to perform well, and so you work hard. And I think that those things basically create a thriving art scene, because if people aren't motivated to work hard and continue to grow their expression, they'll just kind of become stagnant and fade. So I think those are some of the things that I'm seeing unfold as we move forward.
This really, we're hoping, can be a springboard for a lot of, just especially the artistic and sort of musical community to really gather around. And we've seen some of that even with just the open mic nights that we've done. I think at the heart of it, really want to make sure that people that are coming here to play can feel like it's a place that they can grow into, it's a place they can be inspired, and it's a place that they want to, come back and play. The Bartlett is open, and not just in the sense that hey, we're here and things are happening, but it's we've been able to have a lot of bands in different genres and people from all different demographics that are coming in, and so to me that's kind of a huge thing, is that Bartlett is open, and we're here to kind of continue to build that in the community and bring people in through that openness. So
all of our expectations have been surpassed so far, and I think we had kind of more long-term goals of selling out eventually. And we've sold out 10 shows already in 3 months, and we won the Inlander's Best All Ages Venue and Best New Night Spot, first place, and the response has been out of this world, way far beyond what we expected, and I don't know, it's cool.
Crazy. The bands that we've already been able to book in here, I had hoped by maybe a year from now I would start to get more of these types of bands. And it's just the whole calendar is this, and which is cool to see that bands and booking agencies are hungry for something like this in Spokane also, because it is a great
people want to play in
stop.
Spokane, and this is perfect. It's showing that, and people in Spokane want to see music, and it's the kind of meshing of those two kind of needs that have been there for a while. We're super thankful. It's just our faces here, but there's been so many people that have
countless
been really engaged in the process, and I think the Bartlett is progress. It's showing the artistic community here that people are ready to engage.
The Bartlett is inspiring, and it's been inspiring to me because it's been doing so well already, inspiring me to dream bigger. I'm oh, well, how where can we take this now, or what do we go for next?